Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. And, this is a holiday weekend, and we're recognizing that. Happy Easter, and others that do celebrate also. This is a time for Ishtar. I guess it was originally named after Ishtar. Originally, this celebration of the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex and all that stuff. But and that's where we originally get the name. But then, of course, the events that happened during the time of Christ, too, is where most people are recognizing it, and the celebration of, some of the sacred things that many people adhere to around the world. So I just want to say that we're going to have a very interesting show today. We're going to kind of cover, it's a combination of current events and some other things, and helping people to come to an understanding of consciousness and the way that we perceive and look at the world today. So without further delay, I'm going to bring in Peter the Insider, and we're going to start a discussion. So hello, Peter.
Hello, and thank you for an opportunity to be on your show again.
Yeah, and so Peter, we have some, kind of had the discussion before the discussion, and talking about some of the things that were coming up and standing out to me today. And but yesterday, you contacted me and started sharing with me a very interesting story that goes along with what our world is going through regarding belief systems now, because they're holding on to something that makes them feel comfortable, makes them feel safe. And you had, it sounds like a really incredible experience. So I want you to share that with the people.
Yes, technically, first things first, it was very unusual, and technically the initial reason why those two specific objects was even moved from original chapel in Rome to Vatican City, and in the first place, and why they was worshipped by Pope Francis himself in very weird and unusual way, that he was not simply like standing or whatever, or I don't know, like kneeled or something, but he was lying in front of very rare, cross with Christ, because those two artifacts, if we can call them artifacts, they are from originally from one Rome chapel. It was completely burnt to the ground in 16th century. Only those two artifacts wasn't burned. Technically, if we can say that way, they survived. So the named cross, it was from wood. Do we need to say it that way in the first place? and icon, that means picture of Virgin Mary and Jesus. And of course it was it was painted to a very rare type of paper, technically some sort of first type of paper made in Egypt, and of course it was in a wooden frame. So in the normal circumstances, it should, both of those two objects, those two subjects should be burnt too, but they wasn't. So that the whole situation was technically, that was, you know, initial uh, that was the whole complicated um, technically it was wishes from people all around the world to do such a stuff. And then in the Friday, in specific time, so it was at noon local time, so 12 p.m. local time, the blood from hip start to drop. I am talking not some sort of, I don't know, hey, we need to fake, we need to be famous or whatever. It was real deal blood, and that's kind of weird for me that church, they don't want to talk about that. I mean, no single official, I don't know, communication, you know, like communication systems from church, from Vatican City, they don't want to talk about us that. But I think maybe they've got the reason, because even, at least from my point of view, that even they are so shocked. I don't know, I can't simply search for particular word term. So maybe even they are shocked, they were shocked that way, you know. So that happened, you know, and no practically no one wants to know about that outside, you know. But we've got insiders in inside the Vatican too. So we were like, oh, that's quite a big event, you know. So that was initial stuff. If you were referring to this, you know.
That's what you were telling me yesterday. And so this
Yeah,
is
that's true. That's
like
true,
a stigmata. It was like the statue
yes,
itself
yes.
started bleeding from the hip. And
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so that they I think people get like really want to see it, you know, so it probably makes a lot of crowds want to show up and see these
Maybe
things.
you are right, and that's the problem, because people don't. There is sorry, they are in some parts of the world very strict, in other parts not so strict, but simply some sort of suppressions. I mean, some sort of restrictions to concentrate big crowds. So maybe this can be one of the reasons. But
Yeah.
I think that the initial reason is why they are is such a, you know, shock, because they, even they in church, they don't what, they don't expect the whole stuff. We can call it blood stuff, you know. That's kind of
I think
thing.
people consider that the blood of Christ to be very healing, or to give them some kind of additional abilities.
Yes, that's true. Actually, people from scientific community, they got that this is not normal. I mean, regular human blood, and they simply they got, because in the first things first, okay, it wasn't just few drops. It was quite a big amount. You know, approximately it was approximately 2 liters. What is crazy? It is some sort of half, almost half amount what is inside adult human body, not half, 40% approximately, right? So
Wow.
it is big. It is approximately like half gallon in US. Once we are talking about in US measurement, in imperial measurement system. And they got only very small blood sample. I'm talking the scientific community, and there happened something absolutely weird. They use only some sort of small ampulla, and then the ampulla, after few minutes, it was almost like up to broke, because the amount of blood uh, for itself started tremendously to get even higher and higher volume. It was absolutely weird, and they don't know, it was some sort of really like miracle, and they try to do all kind of weirdest I experimentations, and they got to something what is really unexplainable, because blood itself start to mutate in order to do some like automatic antidote for any kind of new mutation of virus, you know. So I think that this is definitely some sort of sign that, hey, if you are Christian, if you are not, if you are, I don't know, Hebrew, if you are Muslim or whatever, if you are, I don't know, even Buddhist, Hinduist, that okay, throw this everything just down, respectively, uh, try to make the way clear. There is something what is mutual, and it can save us, and
So,
no one wants to talk about that publicly.
yeah, and I don't, that's strange because usually they will talk about something like that, but it's maybe because, like you said, with everybody being very sick, that they might be afraid that all big crowds will show up asking for healing,
Yes, and then other stuff, and
especially
then
Italy, especially Italy now.
you are absolutely right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the situation, yes, US, they've got not only highest amounts of infected but dead people too, but the death ratio, that means amounts of infected against amounts of dead people, it's definitely worse in Italy. That's no doubt, no single sign of questions. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
And then
yeah, but this,
Rome being right there. Yeah.
yeah, especially. But the initial strike, it started in Milan. It started in Milan.
Yeah, that's the fashion industry right around there, which
Absolutely.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, does that mean anything or is
Of
that,
course, of course. And not only fashion industry, banks.
yeah.
I mean, and then second Milan has fashion industry, and Florence, it
Hmm.
was the second city. So, Mammon, you know only something you need to wear, only something, technically some place where is designed something to wear, another place where you need to get money. What the heck? No, nonsense. It is some sort of, how can I say it, it is some sort of science that don't get to those stuff. You die, okay, but it will not get to with you to another world, if you believe it or not. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you
None of
will
your possessions you can't take with you. Right.
absolutely, you will end up like 10 feet underground, so that means 3 meters underground. Bam, point, period, end of story, you know
Yeah.
Even if you like it, even if you like it or not, that will be your story.
Well, I mean, France also has a big industry as well as fashion industry.
Yes, but it's not oldest one. Everything we are talking about the stuff is in Italy, and I will tell you why. Because it is some sort of ancient uh, ancient Rome. I say it correctly. Ancient uh, Rome heritage legacy. I don't know if it's right or not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Some sort of okay, but ancient Rome. It is, some sort of solid stuff. We in Europe we are making our nowadays history. Something like that. So I think that this is some sort of symbolism. And once someone is so blindfolded, he or she don't want to see the symbolism. Bad news bears for those people.
There's actually a place, I think it's around Rome, and the original place of it was a temple of Diana, and it was called Hollywood, or it
Yeah,
had references to Hollywood, which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretty much where we get Hollywood, California, is and they sacrifice children. And so, there's a parallel between the one in Italy and then the one in also the U.S. and all the things that, I mean,
Of
obviously.
of of course, because try to think. Once this is some sort of they are feeding on children's energy because the if it doesn't matter if you want to be actor, actress, or I don't know, singer or whatever. You are starting once you want to be really successful. You are starting your career, I don't want to say all the time, but 95, maybe 99%, even in your teenage, and some people even, you know even at younger age, and it completely take out your childhood, whatever. It will skip everything, and that's kind of bad. But those people, they don't get it because they are not even people anymore. But they don't afterwards. They don't get it because once there will be a chance. No, they are not chance. They are not chances, because they pass the chance. You do know what I'm trying to say. It's like that.
Yeah, this place in Italy is called Diana of the Wood, or it's
Yep.
in Diana of Nemi, and they
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about it's beneath the cliffs of the modern city of Nemi, and it's also called Diana's Mirror by the town of Aricia, where it's situated about 3 miles off at the foot of the Albanus Mount or Alban Mount.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's a mirror, so I think
And
that's
and just
interesting
by the
too.
way, why do you think it is a mirror? Because mirror, it's a doorway, it's entrance for powers, or I don't know how can I say it, for astral entities from another context of existence. And believe me, if you are doing even the better stuff the best stuff with the best intentions, all the time, once you are opening the portal, every single time, bad entities will misuse it. Believe me.
Yeah.
And you are psychic, so I think that you know what I'm talking about
Well,
much better
especially if they were,
that I am.
especially if they were sacrificing children, which is something that I believe it was involved in, and we see
Of
that
course, of
child
course.
sacrifice happening in Hollywood as well, in California.
Yes,
Yeah.
but because this is it. This is it. They want to be, they so desperately want to be famous, world famous, rich, successful, and all kind of those things. Hey, do you want to? Do you really believe that it is just like that? No nonsense. Some sort of very dark entities and really bad energy is uh, behind it, in the background. And of
Yeah.
course, those entities and energies, they need to be fed by sacrifices, of course.
Yeah. Yep.
It is
That's
it is absolutely normal, I mean, of course it is bad. I don't want to say it is normal, but it should be like that because once, as I like to say, you sign contract with devil itself, there will be some sort of bad egregory, some sort of kind of mm, co cooperative, mutual, astral, energetic based entity. I don't know if I'm using right terminology. So you are the basic one. You are the psychic one here. So you should correct me. And those entities simply need to be fed feed it by something, and of course something what is really good, bad, really evil, and even such a bad stuff I simply don't want to talk about because this is like really bad.
yeah. Well, you become those entities' prisoners, and I've worked with plenty of people that these things, essentially control their lives. They interfere with their friendships, relationships, and it's because people say, why did these things show up? Well, at some point you opened it up, and you made some kind of agreement or did something that they come into your life, and then they're pretty much running things. And so,
of
yeah,
of course, because they are uh, ruling their lives completely. And but once someone is so so naive and blindfolded in the first place, no, I just want to be successful, well known, rich, all kind of those things, and then what I did. But hey, this is your stuff, this is your problem. This is this is some sort of, as I like to make some solid comparison, some sort of, playing with matches up the open barrel with gasoline. It is something very similar to play with a Ouija board. No, this is very dangerous. You shouldn't even try to think Ouija board to think, sorry, about Ouija board. Even once again with the best intention in the world. Once you open something that means portal, nah, there is, I don't want to say 100%, but it's so a high probability, almost certainty, you will invite, if we want to say it that way, invite evil entities, evil, I don't want to say evil spirits, but let us say them evil, let us call them evil entities. Am I right?
yeah. Well, you never know who's going to come through that door. That's the problem.
Yeah.
When you open it up, it could be subtle or it could be really big. And a bunch of mediums or people doing a séance in Poland opened up something through what they call the Dybbuk box, and that's when they got
Yeah,
invaded by the Nazis. So you don't
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah,
who's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
showing up. Who we see the Nazis as humans, but the entities that are driving certain groups to become your enemy. You know.
I know you
So
are
so
right.
it is something you don't ever play with. I mean, I usually end up having to help people who already got in trouble with stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah.
it happened. It happened. I've got very similar experience. Sorry, not not my personal experience. Thank God, but a friend of mine, he was like, "Yeah, this is that's so bad. Everything wrong, all wrong. Everything complicated. From certain point, I was like, okay, what happened? And we start analyzing, just talking, and I visited him quite a lot. I don't want to say I'm not, but and he was like, ah, we moved the furniture in this room, and we've got this very beautiful big standing mirror. And he was like, okay, when the mirror came from, you know, it is kind of odd, kind of strange, but we found it. Where? It was simply on the street. I was like, hey, okay. But are you serious? No, I am not serious. It was simply standing on the street as some sort of smaller version of wheelchair or whatever. And it was like, you didn't get it? What? Such a beautiful piece of art, if we want to call it that way, because it was really nice. And it was just on the street? The very kind of close, because he made even photo for of it once before he moved to the house. And you didn't get it? And he was like, okay, that what? That it was a reason why someone, the previous owner, get rid of it. He was like, oh yeah. And of course the mirror was a portal.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. And some people actually even their house becomes so haunted that they even put like blankets and stuff over the mirrors that they have, because they because they knew that it was portaling in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of a lot of stories like that, Peter. And beautiful. Some of these really old people that do antique shopping, and they bring
yeah,
things in.
and this is the reason. This is initial reason I will never ever buy anything from an antique shop. Never,
Yeah.
because I don't know what the previous history. And of course, the seller, he can say practically anything just because he wants to sell it.
Sure. Yeah, they want to get it off their hands, but that doesn't actually stop their problems, by the way.
I know. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
And he was like, but that was because he's I don't want to say only good, but smart man. I was like, hey, you don't get it? Just just such a wonderful piece of art. Or I don't know, another friend of mine that was like, what the heck? It was like absolutely fresh, brand new, restored car from, I don't know, second half of the 60s in US. And it was such crazy ass stuff that happened, and they don't get it for few years, because it was like, I don't know, it was like, no, our house get haunted. And even they once they tried to use everything practically, I don't know, some sort of this reiki, this from Japan they used, yeah, help me, it is used in Haiti, voodoo, whatever. And he don't get it, that there was a tragedy, you know, owner's death of the car, he caused crazy as car accident, traffic accident. Many people died, and the car itself was haunted,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I've
no.
seen that.
Yeah, just
You,
by the way.
yeah. And I had two separate women try to sell me haunted houses. They
What?
wanted to sell. Yeah, they had
What?
spirits in their house. They even had their names and everything, and they said you can buy the house from me. And there
What?
was
What?
yeah, there was a gypsy that tried to sell me her house,
You
and
know,
yeah.
hey.
Of course I said no. I said I don't need anyone else's problems. I have enough of my own. So,
Yeah.
but let's go in another direction with this because you
No, but I
talk.
think, I think that once we are not so 100%ly sticking with one particular topic, we are not in some sort of very directed news show or whatever. It's kind of better, at least I think.
It's a variety of different subjects, and I think it's sort of a flow of communication. And I know
Yeah.
that I don't, if certain people want something rigid, we're just going to flow with the topics of what really stands out to me. I actually feel that we're guided to talk about these certain things for
Yes, I will tell you something about COVID-19, because even they, that means uh, umbrella, they are freaked out. They are freaked out. I mean that's some sort of parallel. This I'm talking like you are playing with Ouija board or trying to get spirits or whatever, and then, yeah, bad news bears, what should I do right now? And I'm telling you something. This is I use this not just for nothing. It is some sort of very powerful parallel, because they did something like that, very similar, and they are really screwed right now. They are really screwed. I mean, no, they are really screwed. No jokes. They are really screwed. Like, what the heck.
I think everyone is. I did want to bring up something just to finish the last conversation because we'll get more into this part.
Okay.
Is that there's a story from the Montauk project
No. Okay.
that some of the super soldiers might have gone back and seen Christ and got some of the blood of Christ for healing. Have you heard that story?
First things first. Actually, we need to talk about initial what it is. Great solar circles. That is 200. Sorry, no. 2 millenniums. Once millennium is great solar circles. So 2 great solar circles. Sorry, in Mayan calendars, so that means 200 years. Sorry, you need to delete this 200. Sorry. So 2000 years in the first place. Yeah, and then 20 years time loop, if we want to call it that way, time loop, but let us call it time loop, fine. And of course, this is it, what respectively this was the initial reason, and all kind of those things, do you know what I mean, like that. So yes.
Yeah, and so well, according to I was talking to Peter Moon, he said he wrote these books related to Montauk, and the book Preston Nichols wrote called Montauk Revisited. He hinted that Montauk, the Alien Connection by Stuart Swerdlow also mentioned the same thing, that he had an experience of going back there in time, and he's I guess it came up through a regression. I don't know.
Initial stuff. We need to consider that one of the largest Montauk lab is, and to be perfectly honest, I really don't know. I have no goddamn clue why, but they did it like that. It is not so far away from New York City. Just by the way, okay.
Yeah,
So this
that's
is like
over
what
at Long Island.
once I got it as info, as intel, first time I was like, okay, try to stay serious, and they were like, no, we are serious. And but it was like many years ago, like 27 28 years ago or whatever. And it was like, what? No, this is nonsense. How someone can be so stupid and doing? No, they are not stupid. I mean, maybe they are stupid, maybe they are ignorant, I don't know, but that's real deal. So I need to finish my thought because I will lose it maybe. That's the initial reason why the infection and death spread so rapidly, so fast in New York City. Just okay, just for official record, if we want to call it
You're
that.
saying is because there was portals open still by Montauk in Long Island? That's Long Island, New York.
Give me a second. Not portals. I'm talking about very weird type of energetic systems. They are maintaining for practically 24/7 use. They can operate practically, and I don't want to say everything, but many stuff. They can operate 5G, either 4G, so normal, also called normal, cell phone, cell phone system you can call, but they can operate properly for civil use. Okay, screw it, but they are opening like shit hit the fan. I don't wanna watch my language for 5G for military use, and they are doing it. And within 5G for military use, for military purposes, COVID-19 is mainly widely mutating. This is some solid fact we know for 100% sure. I'm talking we in ACIO. This is absolutely crazy.
So that's why we have different mutations everywhere.
Not everywhere. I mean, yes,
where there's
everywhere.
5G.
But,
yeah.
Yes, but especially that's the reason. Once again, I'm talking especially about this. That means what happened in New York City, and because technically, of course, it is happening. It is gaining, raising in the all parts of US, but this is like crazy. I'm talking in New York. This is some technically New York is US parallel of Milan or whatever. Like Jace.
Yeah, that's true. It actually is. If you think of if you were to compare everything from a fashion mega, that it definitely.
But technically, but once again, this is some sort
the
of
consciousness related to it. Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Peter Moon, also who wrote all these books about Montauk. He also told me, I did an interview with him, which you should probably, if you want to, we should talk. But anyhow, he said that they did some of the projects, the Montauk projects, were moved to Romania and there was some things going on in a very large cave with giants in there in Romania.
Yeah, but technically you need to get some solid fact that those caves, they are all over the Balkan region, but especially there is something crazy that people don't know practically, respectively, if they know, is only very little, and it is busegi, that means buchegi in Roman language. Sorry, Romanian, my bad, Romanian language, and they are doing it something like absolutely crazy. It is ultra modern, hyper modern stuff. It is extremely electromagnetically unstable, weird phenomenons happened there. It is practically something very similar as it is happening in Tribech in my homeland in Slovakia, technically.
Yeah.
And just by the way, officially, there are few other mountain complexes, you know, that they are some sort of mutually connected, and it is absolutely this crazy. But once technically I don't want to say we in ACIO, but all kind of the people, they are dealing with this stuff. They don't even, they don't know how, but even they know, they are afraid to start to turn everything on in one time, because they don't know the outcome.
When you say turn everything on at one time, you mean any type of electrical or?
No, it is not electrical. We don't know how is it working.
Oh, they mean that there's ancient technology there.
You are not right quite a bit, because it looks from ancient time, but it is hyper modern. It is like, what the heck? But yes, of course, it was built in ancient times, yes, but it is not ancient as ancient. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's advanced. It's definitely advanced. More advanced than, do they understand how to use this?
Absolutely. We've got no goddamn clue. Just for example, our people, even they are from hybrids and crossbreeds. They are most excellent scientists, and once they were in Tribej down to the mountains, they were okay. How do we start this? And it was some sort of accident. Believe me, accident. They simply they turned randomly, and then everything starts, and they're like, what? How this works? It took few months, almost like it took months, almost to have one and a half, maybe 2 years, okay, to even basic principle how everything is working. Jeez, that's great.
And some people died, didn't they?
Not only some, many. Yep.
Yeah.
Because of experiments. Yeah.
So, how would now they don't have a lot of 5G there, so it would have been a combination of 5G, and that maybe would have affected the people as well.
No. This is not because of 5G. It happened through centuries. No,
I'm talking about the COVID you related to Montauk.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, I was like complete once you want to talk about completely different complete topic. Yes, of course. Once again, 5G in US is practically, I don't want to say is most common reason for dying people, but most common what it is, most common of mutation in US, and that's the problem.
And we've got still some very serious problems in the U.S., you said, which is slightly changing the subject again. You said that something about there is Mengele-like experiments going on in the U.S. Can you explain that?
I don't know if you want to talk about that, because many people will start, especially from US, they will be no, pissed off. They will be mad at me, but I don't know what should I talk about. I think once it happens, something like that, I mean, once something was bad and people in Germany, they simply don't deserve, and they simply look the rest of the world, because of Second World War, they look at them, then they are bad, and of course not all of them are bad. And I don't think that people in US, they don't deserve to suffer, and they are few very highly uh, you know forced defense, uh, uh, how we can say it, experimental institutions, and they are doing crazy, medical stuff. I don't think it is they are experiments, because they are like mutating their inner organs for life. That means for life, they are d- taking them off, doing some sort of experiment, and once it take completely different shape, but not only shape. Shape is not a big deal, but take completely different way of how those organs are working. They get it back to the body, and they simply wait. So absolutely the same nonsense, same bullshit as Mengele.
Mengele.
Yep,
What?
absolutely.
Where is this happening? Are these people that were considered sick with COVID, and then they're experimenting on them?
Yeah. The no. You are not right 100%ly. Not considered. Once they are 100%ly sure that they are sick at COVID-19.
So they say they're going to die. We might as well experiment with them.
Of course, but it is nonsense,
Who
because
is this? Who's which one?
give me a second, because this is not like, how can I say that, dying people, bam, period, end of story. Most of them can be cured, but I don't know if it is because lack of, I don't know, medicals, lack of, how can I say this, pulmonary ventilation or whatever, I don't know, but simply they are getting, and I am not talking about few hundreds, I'm talking about thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people all around the US. Of course, it's underground, they are underground facilities.
Is that why the people are not? I mean, some hospitals have a lot of people in there, but some of them don't.
Absolutely. How can I say it? Empty. Help me. Empty beds. No.
Empty beds, and where are they bringing them? So they're bringing them in underground facilities.
Yeah, and they are making some sort of nonsense stuff that, nah, we need to consider which patients worth to care to talk about. What? Are you serious? Who gives someone a right to say, hey, this is worth to take care about, and this not? And even those people need to get to the beds and fill the rooms in any way, in either this or either that. This
But
is nonsense.
they're blocking people from going to visit relatives, and the
Of
nursing
course,
the
of
nursing
course.
staff are the ones that are, talking to people before they die. And I got that firsthand from a relative, a friend of mine told me.
That's right. That's right. But sometimes they are giving even them hallucinogens. Sorry. Nursing, not only nursing staff, but even doctors. They are eating and drinking, so normal stuff, not getting intravenosis. I mean, via, you know, how can I say that, needles and all kind of those stuff. No, and they are simply like saying they've got also called instant matrix, and they are seeing completely different reality. Technically not completely different reality, but they are those pico and femto dots, you know, and they can program practically their minds like what they pretty much want. And do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's the problem. We can't blame them. Because try to think that you will see, you will feel, you whatever, but you will consider it as 100% real. And once you don't get it, like dose, do you know what I mean with needle? No, but simply you will get it with your meals, you know. You can't simply get it. That, do you know what I'm trying to say? The people, common people, shouldn't blame those nursing personnels, either them or I don't know, medical doctors or whatever. No, because they don't know what they are doing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's absolutely crazy, but it is like that. They, as I like to say, they. Give me a second, I will explain. They, even people from police patrols, from army, you know, I mean normal army, once they don't get those specific patients to their specific, I mean, not sorry, no specific, to their highly trained commandos, special trained commandos, they don't know what they are doing. Believe me, they don't know. They have no goddamn single clue.
So like they're under a spell or mind control through
Yeah.
Fifth Reich? Is this the Fifth Reich?
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, and so when they're talking about going underground and rescuing these children, is it the opposite, that they're actually taking sick people underground instead? Because I don't know what to believe regarding that one.
Once again, you are absolutely right. But yes, sick, you are right. But they can be cured. But instead of this, opposite, vice versa, they are doing crazy experiments, and there is practically zero chance that they will survive that. They will escape from those facilities. And this is happening practically all over the US. I don't want to say all over, but underground, but you know now what I'm trying to say.
Because they're keep on talking about going underground, and for some reason it's
Yeah.
been bothering me because I can't talk about, say hooray and I'm happy that all these children are getting rescued, because it feels like there's something else going on.
You know, but that's the stuff.
God.
But that's the stuff why MRG, Monarch Refugees Group, they are nah, they are simply doing their plan, but I don't wanna talk about that because I will sabotage this. But they are doing on their plan. They are doing on their plan. You know.
So someone's gonna how do we help ourselves to deal with this, what's going on in the US and this craziness?
But technically this is not only that. You need to get that the stuff that I don't want to say this exact same thing, but very similar thing, even with experimenting on people, or simply either they directly, that means the hierarchy enslaving you, and it is in these times when everything is confused and mixed up together or whatever, it is very kind of complicated to determine what we are who we are talking about. But most cases we are talking about either Umbrella or MSL, so Monarch, either Security or Solutions Limited, or Mobius, you know. Sometimes Ultimate, but the Ultimates, they are doing stuff for good reasons. Absolutely the same stuff as Kruger, you know. Sorry, the same intention, my bad, as Kruger. But the stuff is, those people, I mean, try to think, try to search on the internet, through the internet. How the hell is possible that there is no single sign, no single article, video, or whatever, or audio podcast or something, that there are not thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of uh, people missing?
Yeah.
And they are misusing they, once again, they, let us call them simply they are misusing this confusion, chaos, or whatever, and this is really something comparable only with First and Second World War, when there was chaos and whatever, you know.
Yeah, that there's been thousands and thousands of people missing, not accountable for. Everyone's so worried, especially now everyone's locked up in their house, and it's even worse. They go off to the hospital, they can't visit them.
Yeah,
What the heck's going on?
I will tell you something, that people in because we are talking, I can say in this show, because we've got very good like some sort of friendship or whatever between you and me, right? And that people in US, in smaller towns or whatever, they are kind of good and all kind of those things. And once FBI, and Ministerium for Healthcare, whatever, they got to those smaller cities, and what the heck? The whole district completely uh, without people. How the heck is this possible?
Yep.
And that's it. How the hell is this possible? Or for example, this is bad. Maybe people will not believe me, but
They can research it, but if they don't know about it, they can't research something that they don't know about.
But there are uh, some sort of nursing houses left for weeks, for example, with their clients getting mold, getting decay. What the heck? Or maybe this is in I don't know. I've got to be honest. That's my bad. Shame on me that I don't remember the name of those smaller towns. There was like self-defense, home defense, and FBI came there and, oh, what the heck? What's happened? What's wrong? And there is a district, total isolated district, fans, big fans, whatever. And what's wrong? We isolated sick people. And they were like, what? And there was nothing, like no single sign of even you are young, you are middle-aged, you are old, even you are poor, you are, I don't know, middle class, you are rich. No, every single infected person from the town put within one district. No, bam, end of story, period. And they are doing it. And I'm like, what the heck? And technically, those people, they are so, I don't want to say desperate, but they don't know how to deal with the whole COVID-19 problem. And they are scared. Of course they are scared, because once I don't know how to deal with certain situation, and I don't have any single solution from official authorities, respectively, of course, I will have. But those solutions preventions, it will not work. So I will try to improvise the same stuff as those people in US do. And it is only a matter of time once something like that start to happen in big cities. It is only a matter of time. And I'm asking, like, what the heck? Are you so, like, blindfolded or whatever? No, I'm not talking towards you normal people. I'm talking to local authorities. Not only local, but technically federal too. This is nonsense. Like, what?
Yeah, this is what they're why they're amped up with police is because or military is because
Yep.
they know when people start finding out some of the things that are going on, they're going to be enraged. For example, in California, I was told Oakland, California, they closed 74 miles of streets, so no cars starting on Saturday for 74 miles. I mean, that's huge. It's a huge area that is now cut off from the world. I guess that the people that live there, if they need to travel, I mean, I don't know how they go to grocery stores, how they're going to manage that. It's supposedly they can only use bike routes.
Yes, and by the way, yes, and that's the reason, because in certain part of the world we faced really big problems, really like complicated situations, and we were prepared. But in US, I don't want to say you wasn't prepared or something, but you've got certain plan, but there was no reason, no need for use it. So technically, you never tried, you never have reason to try it in real life, and that's the end. Sorry, that's the end. That's the final outcome. That there is only panic and chaos and everything is crazy complicated. For example, in Slovakia, in my homeland, everything is working. Even it's not working because it is not working, but technically we've got such restrictions, crazy, so tight restrictions that we can call it pretty much martial law, but it is not officially, how can I say it? It is not officially announced that, yeah, we've got martial law, but technically it is, right? But people follow the rules, everything worked. Even people are annoyed because it is almost like 6 weeks or something like that, and I am talking like real deal stuff, but once people, they never ever faced something like that in US, it is kind of complicated for them. It's normal. It's absolutely normal, at least from my point of view.
Well, you went through various wars that the U.S. has not had, and so this is a new
Yeah, and of
situation.
course,
Yeah.
not only wars. First, at least in last century, two world wars, but at least we lived for 4 decades in regimes, semi military dictator regimes. So um, in from this point of view, it's good that older people can remember how it was to follow the rules, and they are saying younger people, hey, don't break this. This is for your own good. This is for your own benefit. And we that's the reason why we have only slightly more than 700, I don't know, 3740 confirmed cases, and only 2 people died, because we have big discipline, but once we will be raising and living that, I don't want to say we can do everything we want, but do you know what I'm trying to say? It is big freedom, if we want to say it that way, like freedom in the first place, as it is in US. I don't want to say it is bad, but once I will be born and raised in US, I think that will be very complicated to get into certain rules for me too. It will be complicated, of course. It's normal. At least, do you know what I'm trying to say? I I traveled a lot, and I can get this mindset. It's absolutely normal. At least, do you know what I'm trying to say? For me, it's not a big deal.
I think that it's kind of what we call a catch-22. So the people, need to stay inside because of the pandemic, and like in 1918 when the Spanish flu happened, they stayed
Yeah.
indoors, and then I think at some point they went out and became very public, and then even more people died the second wave, you know,
So
and
absolutely, absolutely.
so you have that where people still have to be mindful, but at the same time, how do you track your loved ones who actually do go to the hospital? How do you keep an eye on what's going on, and
Yeah.
why are the hospitals, not
But
filled like this? Yeah,
for example, in our hospitals, believe it or not, in Slovakia, in our hospitals, we got I don't know. It is we are talking at teleconferences, so they are using, computers and do it via Zoom, via Skype or whatever. No, believe me, and it is working. It is working.
right. Yeah, so just to keep informing everyone, and,
But
and
of
do
course,
research.
yeah, but of course, it is definitely not the same as personal contact. It's definitely not like that.
No,
Yeah.
but they were talking about doing this 10 days of darkness, and I thought it was supposed to happen over this weekend, but so to me that would definitely incite a riot, because people are not going to be able to call each other, and they're going to be in fear that someone's going to be in danger or harmed. And people would go out in the streets and probably travel to loved
Yeah,
ones.
but for example, we in Slovakia, we are going even, sorry, we will go even deeper, more deeper, and in almost some sort of level of craziness, because for example, we are trying to, not we are trying, sorry, there will be, it will be in praxis, yeah, so implemented. But okay, people, try to think. So, of course, our nuclear power plants, we've got 8 blocks active into nuclear power plants. They will be in a normal regime, it will be fully functional, but cut off the whole system. And certain parts of Slovakia completely like big outage, and not how can I say it? People will know it. So not planned, non-planned, but just some sort of exercise. I like the drill. Do you know what I'm trying to say? What will be the drill? Or I don't know, outage from gas, outage flow from I don't know, mm, water systems, whatever. That what will happen, really. So if someone wants to tell me no, 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 once again, no. This is war without soldiers, without tanks, without, I don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
bombers, without, I don't know what, what you can, without jet fighters. This is like that. Because once we are trying to do something, and this is technically, I mean, I really want to clap our, like, yeah, this is good, because we've got only 6, no, sorry, my bad, 5 weeks new government, and they did practically from anything. They built it from anything. There was no single sign of emergency plans. Never. And we are 27 years. Like I don't want to say 27. Yes, 27 years. And of course, those plans, emergency plans, we have emergency plans, but no, how can I say it? No calculations. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like how many households, how many people are living or whatever. and they can do it in just crazy as 3 weeks. That's crazy, man.
But what is the purpose of shutting down power?
Once again, of war. They are making themselves ready.
Of
Not
war with who?
power with gas inside the houses, with electricity, with everything, with the water, everything.
Who are we going to be in? What is? Are you claiming that this is supposed to be a World War III, or what are you saying?
Because not because of official. How can I say it? Because how can I say that? Not because governments against each other, but some sort of civil wars. Once the blockade, if we want to call it blockade, blackouts or whatever, and the civil wars can get over the borders. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Some sort of areas close to the borders, they can make, how can I say it, fights for supplies or whatever. And once something like that happened, not armies against the how can I say it, the neighborhood states, but armies against their own citizens need to do actions. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It will be causality, action and reaction, but it will be needed because, as you said, people, they've got their own patience limit, and once they will get over the limit of patience of people.
Well, it's more like worry. If they're worried about a loved one, they're going to go somewhere. But I don't know if that would bring a civil war.
No. You don't get it right. We are talking about years, because the restrictions, at least according to people what I got from Middle Europe, respectively Middle East Europe, Czech, Slovak, Czech Republic, Poland, and Hungary, we are talking about years of such restrictions, like really strict restrictions.
That's from the tall whites. You said they're holding on to restricting us for that length of time.
Once again, I'm talking that they don't want to get restrictions, any, how can I say it correctly, any, they don't want to make it, how can I name it correctly? They don't want to make it more normal, right? Because the infection can spread very fast. And of course, once okay, it's fine. No, of course it's not fine. But once they will invent it, vaccine, fine. But they will not get a restriction any softer, because virus can mutate extremely fast. As I said, we are talking about new mutation in every 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days. This is something we never ever faced before. Never.
But that it was created that way then.
Yes, of course. It was created because there is people like, no, that's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal because it is biochemical, technological AI stuff. And this, what is very weird is every single new mutation, the chemical stuff, this this molecules. It is like, no, this is nonsense. All kind of uh, this is like it can't exist. Such molecule simply can't exist. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Such elements within, I don't know, within Mengele period, no, it is nonsense. It simply can't get together. No, in their system, yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Was this like reverse engineered from ETs or something like
I
that?
think yes. I think yes. In the first place, and in the second place, what is more important and much more dangerous, AI was added.
Yeah.
And AI is getting this and invite it. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like make wider this these options of mutations, like like that's absolutely crazy, and that's the problem. And
so the vaccines won't
they
help.
know, once again, it will take quite the big bit of time, quite big, that means a hell of the time, to get some sort of solid vaccine against this. And the stuff is that, first, uh, it is mutating via animals. So technically, just try to imagine that either you or I am infected, and I can, or you can infect practically any kind of animal, and it will mutate inside the animal body, and this kind of mutation will get to another group of people. And there is another very interesting and dangerous stuff also. It is good, at least one good thing. It can't mutate on in the air. It is only spreading in the air, but it can mutate very in water. So you can, once you are drinking it, bad news bears for you. You can get easily infected. This is it.
Jeez.
Yeah, but man, I'm not kidding you. And this is it. This is it. I said to you, maybe I don't know if I said this already. Once I said this, so stop me. That our most excellent scientific team from Czech and Slovak Republic, we reunited. Of course, we've got, as I said, many mutual stuff. Once, even despite we are 20 separated states for 28 years, and we offered the help, and the ones we said something, what is like, hey, we can help you. I'm talking about from Czech and Slovak to US, and we warned that it can spread so fast, mutate so fast, or whatever. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know what just happened, but it cut out a bit. Are you still there?
How long I was? Yes. How long
Just a
I was
second.
out?
Just 1 or 2 seconds.
Okay. So technically, the stuff was that once we warned US that our reunited team, scientific team from Czech and Slovak Republic, that yes, we can help you with this and that, and those are potential risk factors. They take it from total different and from total bad side, and they take it that we are threatening them with some sort of biochemical weapon, and we were like, what? Nah, you know.
Yeah, there's trust issues with everyone right now, I would think.
Yeah.
There's a belief system that, as strangely as this virus came in, that it's going to disappear in the same way.
That's that's definitely not right. If someone believe it, okay, but I will tell you something. No, it is not
This is
true.
going to be through effort of figuring out how to stop the mutations, or maybe it will stop at some point.
Some people believe that it can be something like, you know, the mutation will go over and over and over, and technically it will be that it will end up. Sorry, it will end up that it starts, and uh, it will use so many mutations and variations that it will stop to be completely disharmful. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like non-vulnerable.
Kind of
Do
like
you know what I mean?
run its course and kind of burn out or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah. But many other people, they believe another thing, that in lizards in Asia, that it was for not only tens but maybe hundreds years in lizards in Asia, and it simply just like that mutated, and you know, like it get out. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean lizards, sorry, reptiles, my bad, reptiles. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, like well, alligators or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Snakes or alligators, or I don't know, certain kind of those, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's also some zoo animals that got it. I don't know if these animals are dying.
Yeah, actually,
Tiger, yeah,
female tiger in New York Zoo. Yeah, you are right. Actually, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
yeah.
you are right. So I don't know. We've got plenty of things to talk about, but I don't know if you are okay or not, or just talk, because now you are choosing the topics.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's generally the topics that people are discussing because
Oh, I think I've got an idea. What about answering questions? Because I don't want to be, hey, this is one man show. No, I want to answer audience questions.
we'll have Ralph put together some of the questions. Let me finish up some of these articles that we were looking at. So the 10 days of darkness, we did talk about that, but do you think that that's going to happen in the U.S.?
Uh, I have no goddamn you know, single sign of uncertainty. It will happen like that. Practically, most countries in the world are planning to do something like that. Some of them, of course, not in the country, you know, but certain parts. But some of them not. But it is. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It is like that. It will be like that. Sorry, my bad.
Because they
So
said
they
that
are
there was.
preparing. They are preparing for something. For what? That's a good question, even for us in ACIO, because I don't to be honest, I don't want to say that they are overreacting. I don't want to say, because once it is something, it is some sort of egregory, so some sort of astral stuff, but it will be, sorry, AI, artificial intelligence egregory. They can create artificials, super soldier, ultra soldiers, I don't know what. So maybe who will know? But I can only say no. This will not happen. That will not gonna happen. I can only say that yeah, that will be fine. But I don't know. I don't want to say. I don't want to spread fear on one hand, but on the other hand, I don't want to say everything will be fine. I need to be realistic, and to be perfectly honest, I am not. I'm not sure how this gonna end. It is very
Yeah.
uncertain.
Yeah, because I guess I don't know if it was some groups believe that there was supposed to be the 10 days of darkness, and then it went to 3 days of darkness over Easter, and then some people
Yeah,
believe at that time JFK Jr. was going to show up, and
that's
so
true. That's true.
yep, and that's when I found that article of about Rudolf Yuriev, who was a defector, a ballerina, and I guess it came out that he had an affair with not only Jackie Kennedy but also Bobby Kennedy, and
You
so
know, when some people are way too attractive, you
yeah,
know.
we said that earlier. When someone's attractive, they attract both sexes, both genders, and so um, there is. What was interesting is he had his eyes on JFK Jr. as well, according to this book. I think they called it the Pink Triangle, and so then I started looking at the Pink Triangle, and that was actually a Nazi symbology. So here we are,
You are right. You are right.
it was to men that were homosexual, and it was kind of labeling them. They had to wear this pink triangle,
Yep.
and
Yep.
so the LGBT group now use this for their own empowerment. But I think that the whole idea of what is going on here with this weird connection between Rudolf Nureyev, who obviously targeted the Kennedy family in a strange way, and
But
which
you know, the stuff is that they are not so 100% victims, because you know it is some sort of how can I say it, dirty part of someone's people's lives or whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because
yeah,
they know something like that can happen.
but
Do you know what I mean?
it's something either political or there's some kind of spiritual something with the Kennedy family that it looked like Nureyev defected, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was still communicating with the KGB, and then because he was technically gay, but he was having an affair with Jackie Onassis, or Jackie Kennedy at the time, and her sister, and then somehow Bobby got involved, and then here again, this JFK Jr. kind of came up as the next target, and so for whatever reason, I don't know, it could just look like power, but maybe there was something more to that, and I don't know why I was drawn to that, but maybe there's part of this picture here related to this Nazi connection from the Fifth Reich, which is
Yeah,
kind of a
but
roundabout
but
way,
once
but
again, as you said, you know, once we are talking about all the stuff, tall whites, Nordics, you know, fourth and fifth Reich, everything is. Once again, we are talking. We can talk. I don't know, 3 4 months, a half year, 1 2 years, and everything, all the time. How can I say it? It is spinning around, and all the time it ends up with Nordics, with Nazis, and now we are talking about Fifth Reich. It is normal? No, it is not normal. It is. I don't wanna say it is not normal, but I'm talking. This is definitely not coincidence. This is definitely not coincidence.
I agree. And I think the last article that I want to bring up is they were supposed to put out this movie related to called a trailer for a movie called Greenland, and it's a comet disaster movie. They're expecting 2 comets to come and hit, and that movie has been pulled, probably because they don't want people to freak out. But we're already.
And I will tell you something. Do you know what is weird?
Wait,
Do you know
yeah.
what is real? What is really weird?
What?
That was Area 51, this Groom Lake, it is N4, and they are calling it Greenland 2 because not so far away from this area, it's a huge range. It very frequently changes the owner, and it's called Greenland. And actually, it is some sort of cover, how can I say it correctly, cover stuff for their secret missions, secret experiments, because to be perfectly honest, it's absolutely weird that I can say most of the owners are also called Americani. That means people. They immigrated from my homeland, from Slovakia, after First World War, when there was crazy, like huge poverty, 99% people, they were extremely poor, and they got to the either US or Canada. Of course, I'm not talking about them, but they're do you know what I'm trying to say? When not them, then their descendants, So it is very weird, and I will say you something because Al Bielik actually is Albert Bielik, just by the way, born only in city of Banska Bystrica, that is 40 kilometers, that is 25 miles western from my place of birth, Brezno, just by the way, in the middle, very middle of Slovakia, and he was inside the whole project, He practically founded the project, Practically all kind of the stuff started in Area 51, and he was the insider. He was co-founder of project. So it's kind of weird. And any kind of people, I don't know, in Nevada, in I don't know where, they get irradiated, they get sick, whatever. No, those people, those owners of this ranch, Greenland, they never ever get cancer, any kind of, illnesses, sicknesses from irradiation or something, never. So, who knows? What's the cover story?
Yeah. Well, you told me this because I was asking you about a couple of time travelers, and one was John Titor, and you said he was also from your homeland.
Jan Titor, yeah. Jan,
Okay.
it is Ian or John, yeah. It's like that, yeah.
And
That's
then there
true.
was the Williams Stillick.
Yeah, William Stiglitz. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And even more mystery is that we are from very small circle. Like, I don't know, like 50, 55 miles approximately, in the
Oh,
very middle of Slovakia, very middle. So not, I don't know, upper, that means northern or southern or whatever. No, very middle of Slovakia. That's kind of weird.
and that's also would include Duncan Cameron, who was also the brother of Al Bielek,
Yep,
right?
you
But
are absolutely right.
I'm sure
Yes,
he had
yes.
another name.
Yes, yes, you are
Yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're not supposed to say his real name, but
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
what is his real name then?
Let's use it this name.
Okay, all right. So, why is it that there's so many time travelers from your region?
You know, because we are from this mountains. We are from these mountains. It is uh, it is ore, like ORE, yeah. So ore mountains. They are full of very weird metals, really rare or really rare all around the world, and very weird circumstances happened. Yeah, and even no one wants to get to try to make some sort of, how we can say it, inspections, what is happening, because everything simply stops. Once you want to dig, to use mechanisms, nah, you can't start. You want to make photos, nah, the battery dried. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The systems died. No, nothing. Once you are doing even you are making normal photos, whatever, you are driving with a jeep or whatever, no, everything fine. But once you are trying to, as it is like land protects itself. Do you know what I mean? It's weird, but it is like that. The normal cars, whatever, not a big deal, but the deeping, the grounding mechanisms died. Once you get the mechanisms out, everything works perfectly. Nah, weird story.
So there's not like programs or anything, because I mean a lot of these people spoke very good English. So you wouldn't even know that they weren't, they sound very like American or
But once again, they immigrated. Even they were small children, very small children. They only go to the first grade of elementary school, and even I don't know. They got in Slovakia to the first. I mean, if they completed first grade of elementary school, so that's the reason, because that was not a big deal for them to learn English. Okay, and yes, I know that my English is very far from perfect, but to be perfectly honest, I don't care about that, because I like that I'm Slovak, and if someone don't like it, no, no, you know.
yeah, that's the way I feel. I mean, if they don't like that, I mean, if they can't get past their prejudice or whatever it is, then that's their
Yeah,
issue.
it is the same stuff. And nah,
Yeah,
she's psychic, she is witch. What the heck? No, you
yeah,
are not
it's kind of
witch
a
or whatever.
prejudice thing. Yeah. So
Sorry, it is so funny.
it is. No,
Because
I've had to deal with that too. Um, so
but
Peter,
you
did you
said
know
me
these
you said
guys?
me you said me that it was like you are a witch. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and well, because they don't
Because
understand,
this
it's either
is
you're good or bad. Yeah, I know.
but you know that it is ridiculous, just by the way.
Yeah. So Peter, did you know these time travelers that we just talked about?
uh, in person, and not just know for some random things. I know them very good. They are my friends.
Okay. And
But I
so,
don't want to talk about talk about it anymore. No.
All right.
No,
All right.
no, no. To complete different. We need to take
Yeah, no,
complete
we want to
different course.
respect people's privacy. I thought there might
No,
have been
this is
like,
not only privacy. Privacy in first place, but sorry, privacy is can be only, I don't know, in 10th, maybe 20th, or maybe 100th place. It's secret stuff, secret programs I can't talk about. I can tell yes, something like that exists or something like this, you know, but this is way much more, way much higher about the stuff I can talk about. Simply like this.
okay, that's
It's
good enough, Peter.
very
You said more
very easy
than I
reason.
thought you could. So no, I
There's
appreciate it.
no. It's fine. Once again, it's fine. It is not more that I can know. I'm just saying what I can say and what I can't say. No, I simply don't want to talk about. Very easy.
Okay, well, we do have some questions. I want to move along because it's getting kind of late. Um, Fofo Funky said, this is someone that's their name. Does the extra bitter dark chocolate repel AI or destroy and kill the AI or both?
Good question. Only time will show.
So you don't know, but you know it's going to help the problem, but the dark
Which,
chocolate will
sorry, what?
neutralize.
Dark.
Yeah, the dark chocolate is going to
Once
repel it.
again, okay, it will, but it will take time, and we don't know how fast it will be.
So you have to, just by taking it every day, the chocolate, it's going to take a while to see how long it's going to.
Yes, and technically that's kind of stuff that even it can get your health state worse. Not worse, I mean get kind of any more problems. Do you know what I something like very similar with once you get vaccinated with antidotes, so you maybe even get kind of try to get sick or whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Something like that.
You mean like, yeah, you just find out like after a while taking it how it's going to affect each person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And
All
of
right.
course, in first few days you will feel sick, and then it will get much better
Oh,
and
I
better.
see what you're saying. So yeah, once you start taking chocolate, if you haven't been,
Yep.
okay. Some people eat chocolate all the time, so it's normal. All right.
Yeah.
Do Wi-Fi stickers really work? Protect you from radiation, or what to look for since there are so many brands?
Wi-Fi stickers is not about brand. Problem is gigahertz, and the question is that even with gigahertz they are channels. I don't know if you've got 14 or 16 or 18 channels or whatever, but the stuff is that 5 gigahertz is like 5 gigahertz is like a big deal. That's a problem. So try to use lower frequency. That's kind of stuff.
And
Nah.
people are also putting like shields and things over their Wi-Fi and trying to do things in their homes now.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's other types of tech people use or to create protections, energy field protections, and I don't have them. Probably maybe people can add them to the comments. Next question is Roman. That was Brainstorm asked that question. The next question is from Roman P. Hi Jessica and Peter. Thank you for your interview. Great information in my mind. Let's see. Still at a loss of this virus, if it's real or not, because a lot of people are saying it's not really a virus. There are many different reports. It's becoming more confusing from independent doctors.
Of course it is
so
not.
forth.
Of course it is not virus. Of course it is not virus as virus, because it can do such a crazy stuff. So it is nonsense to be virus, because it is virus, chemical, so biochemical stuff, and mixed with AI. So of course it's not virus. It's much more worse than just normal virus.
Yeah, and even some very very well-known people are coming out and saying it's just a hoax. And I think
Of
there's
just by the way, sorry, but I need to interrupt you. Hey, of course, those reliable people from the scientific community, as they are saying that global warming is a hoax. Of course, it is something like that. It's very good comparison, very good parallel. Just by the way, okay.
they were also he's also wrote that the PCR tests that are have a high chance for false positives. And so they said that the way that they're testing people, that it looks like it's everyone, a lot more people have it than they actually do, maybe. Um, and so, it's becoming confusing, because I think, and I understand exactly what you're saying, Roman, that there's so many people are coming up with contradictory issues, almost to the point like, hey, the government's just locking us in and there's no purpose for it.
Oh, if you believe, okay, but it is for your own risk, because
Yeah.
I don't want to risk like that. And to be perfectly honest, for example, hey, it is like this, it is like that. For example, there's like that not only intelligence services, or I don't know what, and secret services, they can make monitoring of your cell phone or whatever for no reason. They don't need any permission. Do you really believe that something like that ever happened? They are only, once you believe that it is only a higher, how can I say it correctly, a higher level of doing what wasn't here before. No, it was here all the time. They are just making it legal, right?
Right.
This is pretty much it. I mean, it is maybe frustrating, respectively. Hearing this will be frustrating for many people. But once again, we need to to spread the wisdom, the knowledge. Only we can do it only two ways: either to say a merciful lie with as I like to say, pink glasses on, and we will blindfold the people with this nonsense, or saying ugly truth. I will choose every single time the second way. Even I will for the cost that I will be hated for this.
Yeah, I mean, we have to follow our own conscience, and if you know, if you really feel that this is the truth of what you're telling people, people are going to look around. But I mean, eventually, the truth is going to be revealed, and you hope that nobody is harmed in the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, the last question here is also about, if the 5G is turned down, will that become a lot better for people? So a lot of people are burning down the 5G towers because they're dangerous.
To be perfectly honest, in this situation, yes, of course, 5G is helping COVID-19 with the mutation a lot. But once we are talking about real deal stuff, that it is mutating very fast and easy in animals, inside animals' bodies, and inside water, it will be not such a big deal. Once again, I'm talking about either using respectively fully functional and non-functional 5G towers or transmitters or whatever. That's that's the stuff.
But the ones that are military are
Oh
bad,
yes, of course, yes, of
bad
course.
any either way.
For military purposes, definitely that's a big deal. That's a really big problem. But once we are talking about 5G for civil purposes, that's really not a big deal. That's practically not a problem.
Yeah, and because I was seeing these towers, kind of on top of churches, by schools, and some really strange places that, why wouldn't the 5G towers be at the facilities where they sell, like, internet and all that? It looks like they're in these places that don't make any sense. So yeah, that's the part where it feels like it's very weaponized. How can we tell the military ones from the others? Can we tell at all by looking at them?
Of course. You can see the antenna itself. It's not once we are talking uh, about civil purposes one or civil used one. You can technically get to normal to the search engine, on the internet, and most, I don't know, like 9 maybe, 8 maybe 9 out of 10, and you can see, like, this is some sort of, as I like to say, pattern. Okay, they are looking like that.
They look like a
Yeah,
crown. It almost looks like a crown, right?
give me a second. They are looking very. Once again, it looks kind of complicated, but they are simple. But once you can see really complicated three-dimensional. How can I say it correctly? Three-dimensional piece of nonsense. We can call it not even corp, like entity, matter, whatever. No, it is very complicated. Okay, this is something what don't belongs here. No nonsense, and this is it. And you can almost feel it on your skin. You can almost feel it
when you go by it. Yeah, it's people.
Yes.
And they're putting
yes.
it inside of the lights, I guess, the street lights and
yes, that's another part of the story.
and trees. Yeah, they're hiding them in trees and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it's really
Once again, it will be not a big deal once you can see it. Once you can search for it in internet engine. I mean picture engine, searching engine, and you can see it, and you describe it pretty much good. It looks very similar to crown. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But once we are talking about this is really big, much bigger, much more complicated, and it's like, what the heck, this is nonsense. Yes. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think that once we don't have any more questions, it's pretty much okay for now. Or maybe not. Tell me.
We're all set. I think that's the end of the questions. And of course, there's a million things we could ask you, Peter, but we'll have to save that for another day.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for sharing some of that information. We wish you well, and we wish everyone else well that are listening. For some of you, if you're able to have some type of spiritual peace of mind today, meditate or prayer or whatever it is, spend that time and send protections and certain freedoms, healing, and everything to the planet. So with that said, thank you, Peter. Any last words?
I think that we are pretty much okay for today, and thank you again for opportunity to be on your show, and till next time, bye.
Okay, goodbye, and goodbye, everyone. Happy holidays.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comment section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.